That's such a good attitude. Speaking of your children, we just saw this scene where you went shopping with Sophia. And
Mhm.
am I the only one that remembers another show that Sophia had a starring role on? I mean, Dancing with the Stars Juniors.
I mean, Sophia's killing it.
Was that like as a mother, like were you just, I mean, how stressful was that? Was that a stressful experience just watching? I mean, Dancing with the Stars is
Oh.
no joke.
Oh, I'm such a competitive person, and like watching Sophia, like I feel like I was mic'd during the elimination of Sophia, and I feel like when I went in to talk to her, I didn't know what to do to make her feel good. And I was like, "They're hating on you. You were the best. You were the cutest. They were hating on you." And I was like, oh, when I took the mic off, I was like, "Oh my God." Oh, she had a mic on actually. And I was like, "Oh my God, they probably think I'm a crazy mom." But I was like, "You're so much better than half these snotty nosed kids, you know?" But so yeah, it was a great experience. I definitely was very nervous for her, but you know, she was one of the youngest ones. She was 9 at the time, and she was
Wow.
dancing like 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. It was insane. It was crazy.
They were probably like, who is that stage mom?
Oh, I was a psychopath. Like I was trying to be nice to everyone, but I know they were probably like, I couldn't help it. I'd make the ugliest faces as soon as I walked in. I was like just crazy.
You're like, let's just move Honey Boo Boo out of the way and get
Oh,
Sophia
she
to
was,
the end.
the funny thing is she was on the show when Sophia got eliminated. I was like, please, she doesn't even dance.
You're like, at least let Sophia come in past her.
I mean, yeah, it was just, I was a bad mom.
Would you ever, listen, we've had a lot of housewives, Lisa Vanderpump, Erica Jane. We've
Mhm.
had a lot of housewives that have gone on to Dancing with the Stars. Would you ever, if your phone rang, do Dancing with the Stars?
I don't know. I feel like I'm a decent dancer. I'm not one of those people that's just gonna like do the splits on the dance floor. But I feel like I'm good. Maybe.
That's why you'd be perfect. They would teach you, you would
Yeah.
perfect.
Knowing me, I'll end up falling in love with one of the dancers, and then that'll be a whole storyline. And I don't know if I'm ready for all that.
Crossover, Miami Housewives, Dancing with the Stars. Well, speaking of falling in love with a dancer, and you mentioned you were single. So you are single now. You're not dating anyone, Larsa?
No, I'm single.
What is your type? Like, what are you looking for in a man?
I feel like I like sensitive guys. I just learned that. I'm like, what are all the characteristics that I like? I feel like I like sensitive guys.
So for the one straight man out there that is listening to this right now, Larsa likes sensitive guys. What is your type? Like, if you just had to pick someone, whether they were available or not, like I just recently,
I really don't have a type. That's
you
the crazy
don't?
thing. I don't have a type because when I think about it, like I really don't have a type. Like I go from a tall black man to like a short white guy. So I really don't have a type. I'm just kind of like, I think if you have like a fun personality and you're easygoing and you're smart, then I'm more likely to like want to like talk to you more.
Really? That's so nice. Like, so you don't have like a specific like physical type.
No, I feel like I thought I did. I mean, I feel like a lot of athletes like me just because I'm like in shape or whatever. And I feel like I've been in that circle for so long. But I do feel like I don't really have a type. I feel like I like smart guys,
If
smart, sensitive, cute.
based on like a personality that you see like in Hollywood, like is there anyone that kind of not whether they're available or not? Like I had Countess Luann here recently. She didn't even let me finish the sentence. She was like, Bradley Cooper, Bradley Cooper, and Bradley Cooper. I'm like, I see you've thought about this, Luann. Like anyone in Hollywood that you just comes to your mind?
I mean, I feel like I think Brad Pitt's cute, but I don't know. I do think Bradley Cooper's cute also.
Those are
Uh, yeah.
those are two good choices.
hmm
Do you have a lot of, like you said, like athletes and like now that it's like officially out there that you're divorced, like have your DMs been filling up?
I feel like yeah. I mean, it's always kind of popping in my DMs.
Do
Yeah.
you ever slip into someone else's DMs?
Um, I just had this conversation earlier. I feel like the only person I've ever DM'd was Elon Musk. And well, I DM'd him for like cryptocurrency advice. I was like, hey, should I buy some Doge or not? Like it was a business thing.
Listen, if you're going to DM anyone for business advice, it might as well be him.
Yeah.
Did he get right back to you and did he give you good
I just did.
advice?
I don't go through my DMs all the time. I go through them once a week. So I feel like a lot of people that send DMs, they like assume that you've already seen it, so they delete it. So I'm not deleting the DM I sent him. I'm just gonna leave it there until he goes through his DMs. But no, I just sent it a week ago. He probably hasn't even looked at it.
Well, if you get any good crypto advice, please pass it on to the rest of us.
I will forward it on to you.
What about, you know, we mentioned Dancing with the Stars, you mentioned you being single. Would you ever do something like, you know, a version of like The Bachelorette or like a dating show? I mean, I know you're busy with the Real Housewives of Miami, and hopefully you're going to be on the show for a very long time, but would you ever do a dating show like that?
Um, I might. I mean, I would maybe. I don't know. I feel like doesn't that make the pool just way bigger? And that way, couldn't you find like the perfect guy in the least amount of time? Because the pool just instead of like it'd be like a crash course, right? Like it'd just be like, I think so. Maybe it might work.
And I mean, I think they really do work with you and sit down and say, like, what are you looking for? Even if you don't have a type, like, you know, you say sensitive. I think they really do try to go out of their way and like have a pool to start with that's already been pre-screened.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I feel like when Scottie and I first broke up, I feel like my manager did call and ask me if I would ever do one of those shows, and I wasn't ready. Maybe today, you know, this is our year, David. It's 2022. We are about to take over, so I'm not going to limit myself and say no. I'm going to say maybe.
I like a matey. Well, before we move on and I ask you more questions about your jewelry line and the Real Housewives of Miami, speaking of dating, I have to ask, and we are going to move on after this question, just because you seem to know her more than the rest of us. Like, what do you think of Kim and Pete Davidson?
You know what? If they're happy, I'm happy.
I mean, he seems very laid back. So do you think that's what she needs, like, in the next person she dates?
I mean, you know, I feel like when people are happy, like it shows, you know, and I feel like they're happy. So that's all that matters.
Such a good answer. Well, tell us about your jewelry line that you're working on.
My jewelry line is killing it, David, just so you know.
I love, well, I
Um,
mean, I'm looking at the earrings. They're gorgeous.
Thank you. I just love it. It's just beautiful pieces that are timeless. We're in a lot of cute boutiques. We're at Saks Fifth Avenue, you know, direct to consumer on larsamarie.com. It's just, you know, jewelry that you can wear. Like I would literally wear these to the gym and then just go out after to lunch. I wear my stuff all the time. I like wake up and I'm drenched in jewelry. I love it.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with jewelry, right?
Listen, it makes any outfit, you know, you can dress it up, dress it down.
Well, you're such a fashion girl. And someone asked me this recently, and I thought it was such a good question. Yes, I'm in New York City and there's sirens outside my window, so I apologize. I'm like, I live in a building and I'm high up, but you could still hear the sirens. If you could wear only one brand the rest of your life, it's a really hard question. What brand would it be?
um, One brand, maybe Balenciaga. I feel like it's like casual but streetwear, and I'm more casual, so maybe Balenciaga.
I swear to you, that was my prediction. I always try to predict what people are going to answer, and that was my prediction for you.
Yeah, that's so cute.
We're just
You know
aligned,
your audience. You know
Larsa.
your people. You know your people, David.
I know my people. So now being back on the Real Housewives of Miami, like you worked and filmed and were on the show with Adriana and Alexia way back when, and Marysol. Who do you think out of those three, because you worked with them in the past, has changed the most from that experience to this experience?
Probably Adriana. Like, I think she's gotten. You know, some people as they age, they get bitter and mean, and I feel like she's gotten bitter and mean, like a grumpy old man. You know.
I do know you, so that's she's changed the most.
Well, I
What
feel
if
like your energy says a lot about you, right? Like if you're like loving and open and want everyone to win, you see that. And if you're just like, you know, just in the corner hating on everyone and talking shit, like that's just, you know,
I take it there's no love lost
grumpy.
between you and Adriana today?